Okay, so welcome back. Samuel Levitz here at the Financial Reboot. Now, before we get into this segment, I just want to mention to you that we've got a really cool special guest coming on, as we always do. All of our special guests are so cool. But this guy is cool because he's got a similar story to probably like many of you out there. So I want you to pay attention after this segment, so definitely stick around. We've got him coming up, and you're going to like it. So let's get right into the segment. I'm here again with Patrick Comer, our financial analyst here at Financial Reboot. Pat, hello.
Yes, sir. Thank
our
you.
Smart guy, as I call it, Pat, our smart guy. We want to kind of toot our own horn here for just a second, and really, it's less tooting our own horn and more like that algebra teacher. Like, did you do your homework, young Patrick? Did you do your homework? Because the truth is this: the truth is that over the course of each of these shows, we let you know basically what we're investing in, what we are investing in. Now, I know some of you that are texting into the show. By the way, you can always text it. You could text us right this second at 760-254-0003. Text the word show. Text the word show, and it will come live right into us. You could ask us your questions. We don't mind being interrupted with a question. We're cool.
Absolutely not.
We can chat on the fly like that. It's cool. But the point is this: is that we kind of let you know we have this transparency to our company here, and we like to just kind of let you know what we're doing. And because of that, we just kind of want to show you what we've been doing. So Pat, let's get into it, and we'll put these slides on the screen for everyone, I think, right? Okay.
You bet.
So look, last week we mentioned WPX, right? Let's tell them what happened with WPX in just last week.
And just in the last week, it's up at about 8.5%. And it's a stock that we've talked about a few times. If you're following us, you probably could have even got it lower than that.
Yep.
Oil presented a big opportunity with the sell down 2 weeks ago. Then it had another opportunity on early this week. And if you were one of the brave ones and you went ahead and bought, then you're up about 8.5%. If you bought even before that, you'll probably be up even more.
8.5% a week, guys, is pretty darn good. I mean, I don't know what your money is doing right now in your savings account, but I guarantee you it's not doing 8.5%. So, look, we talk about these things on a weekly basis, and there's a lot of people that reach out to me on Facebook and our YouTube channel, and they actually call in and text in and say, they're dancing around, hey, I want to test you guys out. And it's like, well, this is a perfect way to test us out.
This is a perfect way to do it.
Right?
Yes,
we mentioned things in our show that we are currently buying, and you could certainly paper trade and just kind of do it at home and not buy, or you could buy whatever you want to do just to test us out. Now, we also talked last week about ADHD.
Yeah.
Right?
ADHD is
not the syndrome.
No.
Not the syndrome. The actual stock.
But ADHD is a little biotech stock, pharmaceutical, and it's up 7% since we talked about it. We've talked about this in the past also, and you probably could even got in lower than this. But it just had earnings. It had really great earnings. It's got a great product coming down the pipe. It's got a lot of things going for it. It's a wonderful company, and it's already up 7%. So it looks like we found a good entry point on it.
Yep. And again, look, if you're up 8% in your portfolio in just a week, would you be happy taking profits of 8% a week? So our point here, and kind of our motto here at Financial Reboot is, and for our clients especially, we're not afraid to take profits, because profits build on each other, and that's how you leverage your portfolio to take it where it is to where you want it to go, and that's the whole point. We also talked last week, if you're paying attention, we talked about LPI, right? And LPI was up, I think, 18% in just the last week alone.
18% in the last week. Laredo Petroleum, this is just like WPX. They had earnings. They had very good earnings. There's a lot more room in this stock. WPX also. WPX had earnings and they weren't as good, but it's still on fire because there's so much potential in these, and they're beaten down so much that as oil prices rise, these balance sheets are going to get stronger, just like we've been saying. And people realize that, and that's why they're getting these stocks cheap. And so you want to get in.
And that you brought up a good point, and that is that it was no surprise that we own the stock and then they released their earnings.
Yes.
If you're paying attention at home, you got to understand what we do and why we do it. We get into stock because we do. Pat and the entire team do the research on these things. thinking this is going to happen, and if this happens, and this is going to happen, and compounds it, right? So LPI released their earnings, and what happened? It just
You bet. It's been blowing up ever since.
It's been blowing
Yeah.
up 18% in a week. Now, I do want to talk about this because this is kind of a little "we told you so" type one,
Yes.
and that is TGD Timmins Gold, right? We talked about Timmins Gold last. Well, why don't you go ahead and talk about that because this is interesting.
Timmins Gold is a little gold company, and you know, if our viewers are following gold plays, you're probably familiar with VGZ, which was a little gold mining stock that made a nice gains. Timmins Gold is the same model as that, and it's still down around. When we first started calling it, it was a low 50 cents, but it's probably, we're looking for it to be about $1.25, $1.50. And so we're looking for even bigger gains in this. But if you jumped into it earlier this week, you're already up 13%. It just had earnings. The earnings were blowout earnings. But on these smaller stocks, what happens is generally people buy the rumor, which is a good earnings report, and then they'll sell the news,
Right.
which is the actual earnings report. That's exactly what happened with this stock.
Now, if you are paying attention at home, or even if you're not, this is something I want to really pay attention to because last week we talked about TGD, Timmins Gold.
You bet.
And since we spoke about it last week, it's up 13%, as Pat just mentioned. However, there's a however, comma, we also talked about it 2 weeks prior. And, you know, if you would have bought 2 weeks prior,
Yeah.
tell them what would have happened.
You'd be up even more. I think you'd be up 20% right now.
At 20%.
Yeah.
So,
And here's the thing, Samuel, just a little caveat on this. If you had sold yesterday, you would have even got a lot more because it actually went as high as 60, 61 cents. So if you were just playing a short-term play, you could have took profits. And we're looking for a double and even more. So we were willing to hold through it. And if we get our price again, we'll buy some more because we like the company that much. But yeah, if you had gotten into it 2 weeks ago when we actually called the stock, you'd be up about 20% right
so this is our "we told you so" segment that we like to do here. Not to really rub salt in your wound. It's really more to like light a fire under your keister and say, look, let's get you moving. Look, we know what we're doing. We don't just gamble with money here. We research. You know, Pat and the team are up at 2:33 every morning, weekends included, to research all these things for our own personal accounts. I mean, not only am I the president of Financial Reboot, I'm a client. And there's a reason I'm a client, right? Because I was the one having trouble in my portfolio, just like many of you years ago, and I needed help.
Yeah.
And so what we created is that exact help that people can have, and this is why we're so proud
And
of what we
Samuel,
do.
how was your Friday?
Oh, geez. I shouldn't say in case the IRS is watching. It was good. I had a good day. I had a good day. The point is this. Look, just take action. You'll see the review here somewhere on the screen. Text the word review. Get that review. Let us take a look at what you got. Well, we were just on the phone with this guy out in Dubai. Not the phone, but I was messaging with this guy in Dubai who was so excited to get started, right? This guy.
Yeah.
And just a cool cat. And man, I feel his excitement because he's able to get started and get that help that, you know, he never thought he could have with finances. Finance is always this thing that has kind of been in this iron box. It's like, oh, you know, whatever that was. But the point is this, you know, it's like it's this personal thing. Like, oh no, but that's exactly the point. You need a team of experts to look into that iron box of yours to say, you might want to consider this. And this is what we're doing, getting us 8% a week, 16% a week, 20% a week. Not saying, and a disclaimer, not saying this is our results. Your results may vary. This is what our attorneys tell us to do. The point is this: you need to change. You need to change.
Absolutely.
Text the word review. We're going to get into the core portfolio in the next segment because you're going to want to pay attention to this because this is big stuff. We're going to take a shameless, and I mean shameless plug for this amazing company. They're doing a commercial right now. I know our sponsors are just amazing.
That's
for
just
the show.
growing like wildfire.
We're going to do that right now. Fill up on our sweet nectar beverage. We'll be right back after the segment.